The one that used to be invisible custodian. The ruins. The once solemn temple was now a cacophony of movement, its floors, ceilings, turning around like mechanical cogs. If Leo did not tread carefully, he could very well be crushed beneath one of the rotating stone pillars. He crept closer to get a better look at the pillars and was surprised to see not the lovely birds and flowers he feared had been caught in their gnashing gears, but crushed appliances and flattened cans, shredded magazines and crumpled plastic bottles. These ruins were made of fossilized rubbish? Some twinge of instinct made him leap back away from the pillar he was inspecting. While he had been distracted, a giant wall behind him had started closing in. He'd come a breath away from being flattened like a pancake. I'd better not lose focus again. It didn't take long for him to figure out the way. Invisible Custodian's illusion appeared to guide him. He followed the illusion through the ruins, dodging around or jumping over the ever-moving walls as he went. And if the deadly obstacle course wasn't making navigating the stage hard enough, Leo had to deal with the endless swarms of Nagati too. He lost count of the number of times he was nearly crushed by a stone wall while he was distracted fighting the Nagati. But whenever he tried to move with the stones, he would lose sight of the lurking Nagati and then find himself suddenly surrounded. It was impossible trying to deal with both the Nagati and the moving stones at the same time. Guess I should borrow a costume from an invisible custodian's imagination. Leo closed his eyes to concentrate. Okay, I think I get it. When he opened his eyes again, he was wearing the Invisible Man costume. At least, he thought he did. He couldn't even see himself. Now he could slip past the Nagati without them noticing and focus on gathering drops. He made his way through the stage, slipping quietly past any Nagati he came across. At last, he found both heart trees. And with the Tim's help, he claimed the fragments of Invisible Custodian's hearts. First was the piece that loved his town, and second was the part of him that was forgiving. As he explored, Leo came to understand why Clocktower Kid had said his stage was so like his own. Neither he nor Invisible Custodian had made any inhabitants. Leo hadn't because he believed he didn't need anyone else around. Invisible Custodian hadn't because he had been unable to forgive. Leo did not know what Invisible Custodian's town in the real world was like, or what the people there might have done to him. But he did know that if Invisible Custodian had lost his ability to forgive, then it was going to be next to impossible to talk things out. The two fragments in hand, Leo pressed on to where the real Invisible Custodian lay in wait. But when he arrived, there was no one there. Still, Leo knew better than to let his guard down. He closed his eyes. For a while, nothing happened. Leo lunged to the side just as the stone he had been standing on exploded into bits. The ruined stone was scorched as if it had been struck by lightning. Leo turned to face it. I had a feeling you'd make yourself invisible too, but that trick won't work on me. I can sense your movements. As if enraged by his words, the creature that had been Invisible Custodian finally showed himself. He looked like a caricature artist had decided to draw a grotesque mashup of a man and a vacuum cleaner. His name came to Leo easily. Hooverton. Hooverton was easily 10 times as big as Leo. He vanished from view, striking with his lightning attacks over and over. Leo spun and twisted gracefully out of the way, just in time to avoid being smashed along with the stones. There! With his eyes shut tight, Leo could feel where Lance's mark was. He jumped high into the air, aimed in the mark's direction, and flung both fragments of Invisible Custodian's heart right at it. Hooverton reappeared with a great shriek. The monstrous form crumbled open, revealing the original Invisible Custodian within. He sank to his knees, hanging his head in forlorn shame. I never intended to hurt you. I'm fine, see? Don't beat yourself up about it. But what was with the whole vacuum thing? I remember everything. I remember who I am. The town I'm from had a horrible litter problem. It made me so sad to see my home choking in refuse, so I would go out and clean it up. But no matter how much garbage I picked up, I'd go back the next day and there'd be a whole new mountain of trash in the place I'd just tidied. Kids would toss their trash on the street right in front of me, even though they knew how hard I worked to try and keep the town clean. I realized I wasn't making any difference. It's like no one even noticed I was there. I started wondering if maybe no one could even see me. So that's why you turned into Hooverton? It is. And I remember as soon as I stopped forgiving the people in my town, that's when the Balan Theater appeared. As if summoned, Balan suddenly stood beside them. You are not the only one, you know, who cleaned up garbage come sun or snow. Invisible Custodian shook his head. Perhaps, but there are far more people who litter, and more now than ever before. Leo kneeled in front of the despondent Invisible Custodian. But you never let that stop you picking up trash. That's pretty awesome. Come on, I need someone as awesome as you to help clean up the mess Lance has made of Wonderworld. Then we can go home. Invisible Custodian shook his head. I can't. I'm too tired from fighting a losing battle against litter. In that moment, he looked even older and frailer to Leo than he ever had. Though even with your heart repaired, to stand and fight you still are scared. Balan sighed, then set off walking. Leo scrambled to keep up. Well, no time to waste. To the next stage we must make haste. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that chapter in the Balan Wonderworld series. I'll be posting the next chapter soon. Now for some screenshots from the community. At the end of each of my Balan Wonderworld videos, I like to share a few screenshots that you tag me in. To participate, just use the hashtag Unbroken Wonderworld on Twitter with some of your screenshots, and I'll pick a few to show at the end of my next video. The first one we have this week is from user Ambry Caillou, showing Emma running from a group of Nagati with no costume. I thought not only was this a cool shot, but fitting since it was from World 12, just like the chapter of this book. Next up, we have some adorable blue Tims peeking out of the snow. Really cool shot sent in from Mint Ivory 196. Thank you so much. Our last one for today is from Gaming Jinjo. This capture gave me some serious Batman vibes as the demonic triple jumper is hiding in the shadows. Really great shot. Thanks again to everyone for participating and watching till the end. And as always, happy gaming.